Hey there, and welcome back to another microlearning session. We're excited to kind of walk you through the next piece of the MyGeotab puzzle. So through the last couple of videos, we've been focusing on assets and the map and kind of viewing that. Now, as mentioned before, there's a lot of data and a lot of information being pulled in, and for a lot of users, reporting is a key component that they're looking at, whether it's a daily report, a weekly report, a monthly report, whatever it might be. Now, there are a handful of different ways to get these through the system. In fact, most pages will have these report buttons up at the top where you can basically pull anything and everything via Excel, or if you click the little meatball menu on the right, you can get it in PDF. So just know that that's generally going to be available. And if you're pulling these, I always recommend pulling the advanced report. It's going to give you much more detail, give you the ability to find more information that you might need. Now, the one thing about reports is there are a few kind of ways that I would generally go about it. One is from your dashboard, and we covered this in a previous video, but just as a quick refresher, any of these can be downloaded. Just click the little menu or click the report itself, click download, and you're ready to go. And it's going to default to an Excel report. But let's say that you want to kind of go in and find a specific report itself. Now, in here, I mentioned you can toggle these on and off. But on the left-hand menu, you've also got reports here. Now, generally speaking, I would go to all available reports. That way, if one of your team members has created one, you can see it. Now, up here at the top, you're going to have some quick toggle pieces, right? So similar to some of the other pages we've seen, I can view custom reports, and these are ones that I would have built out or my organization would have built out. And then anything else are pre-built reports that Geotab has. Now with these, the nice thing is I can go very quickly to I only want to see maintenance, and anything that's highlighted, that's all that it's going to show. So if I don't want to see anything specific, I can leave it open. If I want to look really narrow it down, maybe I don't even know what I'm looking for in terms of the report name, but I know that idling is something I want. I can search that up at the top, and from here, I can quickly see anything that's going to be detailed in terms of what idling is going to be notified or indicated in. So maybe that's an idling violations, right? Or percentage of time idling. So again, few different ways to go about it, but ultimately the ability to get in there is nice. Now, let's say that this idling violations is one that I want, but I don't want to necessarily have to pull that report. I want it to be sent to me. That is perfectly doable for any of these reports. What you would do is click into the three dots or the meatball menu, go to edit that report, and then you're going to have a handful of different things, right? So what you're going to be looking for is this little navigation bar up at the top. One, I can set the report view. Do I want it to be in a drop-down list? Do I want it to be on my dashboard? So this one is already on the dashboard, but if it's not, you'd be able to toggle that on and kind of create what that looks like. And then the other big thing is, do I want it emailed to me? So you'll notice that this one doesn't have any email settings currently. Let's walk through how to set those up. So first and foremost, I'm going to toggle that on. Now, the first thing I always point out to anybody using this for the first time is this right here. You're going to notice, and this will update as we add people in, that how many users are going to receive this report. If I say that I want to send it to a group of people, and I want to send it to anybody in this one, you'll notice that we don't have anybody assigned to that group. Maybe I say that I want it to go to everybody in the company. Now we have 22 users are going to receive this report at whatever interval we set in a moment. Same thing with individual recipients. If I say that maybe I don't want to send it to a group, but there are 3 people in particular that I want to send it to, and that is Andrea, Andy, and Bobby. Now we've got 3 users. I can also say that I want it to be sent to myself. Now it's 4. Down below is where we get to configure what that report actually looks like. Do we want it in a PDF or via Excel? In this instance, we'll leave it as Excel. Now, additionally, do we want it to cover what date range? Do we want it today, maybe the last 24 hours? Maybe it's the last month, right? We can expand this and contract it as needed, but there are a lot of different options there. Once we have that set, let's say that, for instance, we want to do a weekly report and we want it to come out on a Friday. We'll set it as we want the last week, or actually, if we did it on Friday, we would want to do it this week. We'll say that it's a weekly report, and the next run is going to be tomorrow, not tomorrow, Friday, and we'll set what time it is. So maybe it's an end of day report on Friday that we get maybe at 4 p.m. Once I'm done with that, I'll be able to save it. I can then say, do I want this to be run by asset or driver? Maybe I want that on a driver by driver lesson, or just so that I can see which drivers are idling more than others. I can dismiss specific things. I can group it if I need to. I can also add exceptions and rules to this, which makes it nice because then I can, really fine tune what that looks like. But let's just say we want to leave it at the idling for now. All I have to do is hit save. And from there, we're going to start receiving this report every week at Friday at 4:38. And it'll go to only those specific recipients that we designated. So again, this is just a way to set up some additional reporting so that you can make it a little bit easier on yourself and don't have to pull those in and day out. And you know that it's on a set schedule. So if there are any questions, as normal, let us know and we'll be more than happy to help.